Are you struggling to work out what an author implies but never actually says out loud? Interpretation and inference-based questions are some of the trickiest on the entire LNAT. Here is the direct answer. These questions test your ability to draw conclusions, make predictions, and identify the underlying themes or assumptions hidden inside a passage. They demand a deep understanding of the text. You must think critically and analytically, going well beyond the facts that are explicitly stated on the page in front of you. So let us build a reliable method. First, take the time to read and understand the entire passage carefully. A thorough comprehension of the text is absolutely essential for answering inference questions accurately. Next, identify the author's intent and perspective. Consider their main argument or point of view, because that overall stance gives you vital context for interpreting the information they only imply. Then analyze the relationships between the ideas, facts, or events in the passage. Spotting how these connect is exactly what lets you draw logical conclusions about what the author truly believes. Also think about the broader implications or consequences of the information presented. Weighing where the author's reasoning naturally leads helps you make informed, defensible inferences rather than wild guesses. Keep the distinction between interpretation and pure recall firmly in mind. A detailed question asks what the text says. An inference question asks what must logically be true given what the text says. That difference changes how you read. For inference, you are not hunting for a matching sentence. You are building a small, careful bridge from the author's stated position to a conclusion they never spelt out. When you reach the options, rely heavily on the process of elimination. Ruthlessly cross out any option that is clearly unsupported by the passage or directly contradicted by the text. Eliminating those wrong answers narrows the field and significantly increases your chances of landing on the correct inference, even when two options initially look tempting. But remember the golden rule: an inference must be logically drawn from the text itself. Never bring in outside knowledge, and never make a massive leap in logic the author did not intend. Let us walk through a concrete example. Imagine a passage discussing both the benefits and the drawbacks of technological advancement on interpersonal communication and mental health. A question might ask you to infer the author's perspective. Since the text mentions both improvements to quality of life and a decrease in real communication, you can infer they see positive and negative consequences. Now contrast that with a trap option claiming the author wants to ban technology entirely. That is incorrect, because it is a massive logical leap the balanced, measured text never actually supports. Notice the pattern. The correct inference is usually a small, undeniable step from what is stated. The wrong ones overshoot, taking a moderate observation and inflating it into an extreme demand. This is why matters of degree matter so much here. An author who merely raises a concern is not the same as an author who calls for a total ban. Read those qualifiers precisely. Watch too for the true but irrelevant option. A statement can be perfectly accurate according to the passage, yet still fail to answer the specific question the examiner actually asked you. Always return to the question stem and confirm what it wants. Is it asking for the author's perspective, an underlying concern, or which statement is not a valid inference? Precision there prevents careless losses. Be especially careful with the not questions. When a stem asks which option is not a valid inference, 3 of the choices will be perfectly reasonable inferences, and the odd one out is your answer. Rushing here is fatal. Ultimately, mastering interpretation requires practice. You must expose yourself to a wide variety of passages to sharpen these analytical instincts under genuine time pressure, not in comfortable, unhurried conditions. Reading a passage calmly at home is nothing like decoding one on a screen with the clock draining away. The reliable lever for improvement is high volume, timed, digital practice. Start practicing today with a free, full-length LNAT practice test at lawmint.uk. When you are ready for more, unlock the complete series of 200 tests with 8,400 multiple-choice questions. Subscribe to @LNAT Prep on YouTube for more,